Okay, so before we start the video, I'd just like to say I'm sorry if I sound like tired or frustrated in any of the recordings because I had all of my files done and recorded, like full 10 minutes of it, and I put them all in a folder so I could keep track of them, and the folder, I don't know what the hell happened to it, but it just... all the files are now absolutely unusable. They all got corrupted in a series of unfortunate events, and I had to record the entire video, and unfortunately the interview segment got fucked up too, so that's wonderful, but I can paraphrase. This is just an inconvenience. I can get over this, so again, sorry if I sound just done in any of the recordings, because I am very, thank you for bearing with me here. Alright, hello everyone. So as you saw from my last video, Lemon's death was fake. She staged it in an attempt to make her bully, Emily, feel bad, and I have had some time to properly collect my thoughts on the matter, and yes, I am still very annoyed about it. YouTube's been hitting me with a lot of those delicious yellow symbols lately, so I'm unfortunately going to have to tone down the cursing, but seeing as this is a sensitive topic anyways, I might as well just already be doomed. But anyways, I've managed to score an interview with the moderators of the SweetLemons Discord, so let's get this show on the road. So for those of you who are new to my channel, or those who missed my last video, here's a basic rundown of everything. There's a gotcha user by the name of SweetLemons and another gotcha user by the name of Emily or Sad Saki. Emily was bullying Lemons for a while, doing awful things like making R34 of her OCs, telling her to KYS in DMs, and generally just being an awful person. SweetLemons retaliated to this by not blocking Emily, making a call-out post, or doing anything rational. No, Lemon decided to fake her own death to teach Emily a lesson. I made a video covering it where I was very open about my personal experiences with mental health and the like, and offered in-depth critique of Emily's actions, and the moment I finished editing that video, I found out the whole thing was faked. In the beginning of that video, I had a bit of a ramble about my thoughts on the new development of the situation. Since then, I've had time to, collect my thoughts and make a follow-up video on everything, as well as go in-depth into more of the background of the situation. I am still very disgusted with both Lemon and Emily, and it's abundantly clear to me that there is no winner in this situation, just everyone sucks. So there won't be many segments to this video, just kind of me talking, but Emily said some really disgusting things in the situation, and I have received some knowledge that she is 12, despite some people thinking she's 14, but one thing kind of remains consistent is Lemon's age. She has gone on the record saying that she is 2 years older than Emily, either 16 or 14, so even if she is telling the truth, either way that makes her the older one in the situation, and thus the one who should be more mature. The theme of thinking before you act is going to be heavily present in this entire situation, and I asked for people to be civil in the comments. There is no excuse for what Lemon did, and there is no excuse for what Emily did. Both parties were extremely wrong here, but we have to remember that both people are extremely young. Young people say stupid things, they should be held accountable for those stupid things to a certain extent. Both Emily and Lemons deserve to be criticized, but like I mentioned before, neither deserve to be harassed. But allow me to slip on my tinfoil hat and give you all a conspiracy theory real quick. Again, big shout out to Lemon's Discord mods for providing me with more inside information that lends to this theory. It was just insanely helpful, but in case you haven't noticed, Emily and Lemons have very similar usernames on Instagram, both with an underscore, little period underscore thing in the middle, and both accounts are private or deleted at the moment, but when they were up, both had a very small amount of posts, and Emily's account was made at the beginning of the month, i.e. when the drama started, and I'm speaking as May, beginning of the month, because it's June now, but that's a bit odd. During the beginning of the situation, I really had my suspicions, however, I make the continuous mistake of giving these people the benefit of the doubt, and now I feel like I can voice my suspicions about the situation just comfortably, and I'm looking deeper into all the evidence provided. There was a lot of evidence proving the suicide was fake before Lemon herself announced it. For example, there's kind of logistic things, like why would a relative like a cousin just have complete access to Lemon's account the very same day she passed away? Wouldn't the family be taking time to grieve, collect their thoughts, plan a funeral, order a gravestone, and other legal stuff? Lemon also put on an announcement in the Discord the same day she passed, and as a distraught family member, I think you would need some time to process that information. But the real kicker is that Lemon's suicide announcement was actually posted a day before the actual date that she announced, and shortly after being called out, Lemon's account was privated, and it was stripped of all posts. Lemon's so-called cousin was also very active on her account, and it wasn't just for memorial purposes, it was a moderator of a subreddit dedicated to her, and her cousin was very active in the comments in the community, which is kind of odd if you ask me, but hey, I don't know how people grieve, but I'm speaking as if this was before we all know it was fake, because that's just makes sense to me, but anyways. Lemon's cousin also allowed someone to make an ARG, which is like alternate reality game. Basically, it's like, well, it's what it says, alternate reality game, it's a game, and so she allowed someone to make this based off Lemon's death, which is a really odd thing to do if you just lost a loved one you were close to. Another thing is that no obituary could be found following her death, and there was just a huge overall lack of proof throughout this entire scandal, but I and so many others just chalked it up to a situation that was being handled by children, thus the lack of solid evidence, but a lot of the discrepancies described here were either unavailable at the time or overlooked by me. Thank you so much again to the mods of Lemon's Discord for providing me this information, as I did not have inside access to the whole thing, so to speak. Another thing is that in Lemon's apology, she claimed she didn't block Emily because it would only make her behavior worse, which is a really odd reason for not blocking someone. See, there's no evidence of Emily and Lemon knowing each other before the incident, and it's just so easy to block someone who you don't know. If Lemon wanted to stop the harassment as much as she claims she did, blocking and reporting is literally the first action anyone takes in doing that kind of thing. It's admittedly harder to block someone you know in real life or know beforehand, but like I said earlier, there's not really any proof of that happening. A lot of things didn't stack up, and I should have expressed my skepticism earlier, but out of respect for what possibly could have happened, I did not.
Happy Pride Month, Tupac. Your rhymes are clearly gay.
So, as I mentioned earlier, the interview segment my file for that was completely just unusable, so I'm going to have to paraphrase here. I'm sorry you're just listening to me speak this entire video instead of, someone else's voice, but I can just I have screenshots from other people's responses, so I can just read those along with paraphrasing what the interviewee Lux said. So let's just get into it. First question I asked was, did Lemon confess on her own, or was it prompted? And if so, how did you get her to confess? The general answer I got was that Lux came in the server. He was very skeptical of the situation. Apologies if I am getting information wrong. I'm going off memory here. I don't have any reference point, but he got information. He started kind of like a little, just kind of a sort of a movement, I guess, that he started gathering evidence, and eventually he came to one of the moderators, Enigma, and then Enigma talked to Lemon, and then Lemon said it was all fake, and then that's just kind of, yeah. Lemon's thought process, that was my other question. What do you think her thought process was? And the general answer was that she just either, if Emily is real, she just wanted to get back at her, but did it in like the worst way possible. And if Emily isn't real, she could have just done this all for attention and like karma on Reddit, which is kind of an odd reason in my opinion, but you know what? Can't read her mind, so. And how do you think this situation will influence the gacha community going forward? I was given the answer that there was probably going to be a lot of copycat situations. We've seen them pop up a lot recently, so also a lot of skepticism when it comes to suicide announcements, and as well as. And the next question was, how do you think the community handled the situation as a whole, beginning to end? The answer was generally just terribly. The community handled it terribly. There was a lot of insensitive people that were like harassing Emily and saying that she should die, saying Lemons is going to go to hell because she committed suicide because for some reason they were Christian gacha users. I don't know, but anyways, that was the general consensus. The community did not handle this well. How do you think the community could improve handling serious subjects like this? The answer was the community could just generally like keep others' opinions and feelings in mind more, as well as look deeper into the situation and just not take everything at face value. Yeah, my memory is very foggy as it happened a couple days ago and I can't access the file now, but a lot of that was unfortunately cut out. I am very sorry about that, but that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles, I guess? I don't know, man. I'm just kind of, very tired. To me, this whole situation just seems like one big stunt for either publicity, attention, or some weird other ulterior motive. I cannot see into the minds of these people, nor will I attempt to. However, there's more people that are affected other than the Schrodinger's cat situation that is Emily. So many people cared about Lemon's story to the point where fan art was made, people made edits, people shed tears, people shared their own stories, and invested so much emotion into this girl. To find out that it was fake, it was probably just genuinely heartbreaking for them. People spent time and energy mourning the death of this girl they didn't even know, making art, writing poetry even, and to find out it was all fake must have just been so jarring. Faking this kind of thing increases the already huge stigma there is around mental health, and it takes away from people who are genuinely suffering, it casts doubt on those who have actually lost their lives, and if someone else takes their life, there will be people who are automatically skeptical because of this situation, and as a grieving member of a departing loved one, the last thing you're gonna need in a time of mourning is someone telling you that you're faking it, that it's not real, that you're only doing it for attention. When someone comes out and says they're suicidal, being met with automatic doubts and being called a clout chaser or a faker is not helpful. Suicidal intentions, death, etc. are not something that should be immediately doubted, they're something that should be met with support, but now there's always going to be that seed of doubt in people's minds. What I'm saying is that by faking your death like this, you're detracting from people who are genuinely suffering from things like that and manipulating people into feeling things for no reason. I'm not an emotional person by any means, but some people are, and some people care for others despite not knowing them personally, and to take the kindness of those people and just stomp all over it is despicable. There are allegedly several cases, at least 11, of people faking it following Lemon's drama. This lends even more to my prediction that in the future, cases of suicide will not be taken seriously and immediately be met with doubt, which is the last thing a mentally unstable person needs when they're reaching out for help on the internet. Lemons has been, as of now, confirmed to be 14 and Emily 12, so Lemons is absolutely old enough to know better. The gacha community is full of children, and the older echelon of those people, the teenagers, need to set an example. Children are highly impressionable, and we need to hold Lemons accountable for what she did here. While what she did was wrong, Lemons does not deserve to be harassed over this. Yeah, she did something awful, but she is a child. It's reasonable to be angry, but it's not reasonable to leave lengthy hate posts. Please, if someone's going through something similar to what Lemons has, do not resort to extremes. Call them out in a post, block them, report them, don't reply to them, don't give them any attention, but do not make them feel as if they are responsible for a lost life. Emily may or may not be real, but the children seeing this is a good path to get back at their harassers are very real and should not be thinking that this is remotely acceptable. Lemon, in my opinion, should face a solid middle ground of criticism, but not harassment or blind hate. She obviously knows what she did is wrong, but she does not deserve people blindly raging at her. What she did affected others, but she does not deserve the kind of hate I saw from people. To Lemon, if you are watching this, by trivializing this kind of stuff, you lessen the impact it has on people. Children who see this thing being normalized, along with the accounts that romanticize it, will think suicide is just an easy way to get rid of problems in their life and not something that is permanent and affects so many people. But anyways, that's about it for this video, and I'll just kind of roll the outro now.
Anyway, we have a new student starting today, so let's all put on a happy face for...
So yeah, that's about it. Big thanks again to the people over at SweetLemons subreddit. You were endlessly helpful here, and it was great having you on. But with that being said, for those of you who are in the gacha community, things obviously need to change. Users need to start being more cautious of the things they believe and be wary of things they see online. Along with that, some users need to be more sensitive to other people's feelings, and some people just kind of need to learn when to invest in a situation and when to just take a step back and just watch from afar. With that being said, stay safe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.